Hi, friends. Welcome back to Live at the Roxy on this Thursday, February 4th, 2021, day 326 of Live at the Roxy Quarantine Edition, meaning for 327 days we have been in this quarantine bubble. Nuts, insane in the membrane. Thank you guys for waiting and being patient. You've been patient for a couple of different reasons. Number one, because I had a couple things pop up with work this morning that I thought wouldn't take me very long, but they took me longer because number two, being upfront and honest with you guys like I am all the time, your girl is a wee bit hung over. She's got a wee bit of a hangover. That's the truth. Look at me drinking on a Wednesday. It's like my college days. I was doing World Girls last night, and we had some drinks there, and then afterwards I just kind of decided to have myself a little night. It was a night. That's what we used to call it in high school. Oh, you have a night tonight? Yeah, it's going to be a night. It's a wicked fucking night. Not night, night. Oh, shit, a night. So things took me longer this morning because, this is why... And this is proof. This is why I stopped. Drinking as often as I did, because you do shit slow when you're hungover. I've got too much shit to do to be hungover more than once a month. Like, just too much shit. Too much shit. So anyway, thank you guys for being here with me and being patient with me. We're talking about a lot of different things today. Tom Holland was talking about Spider-Man 3. We've had so many rumors and so many thoughts on this, so I want to kind of break down Spider-Man 3 and what we know is going on there. Trump is no longer SAG-Aftra. What does that mean? Don't worry. We will discuss. I will explain it all. This girl used Gorilla Glue on her hair, and I feel for her. What does that mean? Again, don't worry. I'm here to share. It's also World Cancer Day. That fucking sucks. Worth discussing, though. And Lil Yachty and Mattel are teaming up for an action heist comedy movie based on Uno. What is happening? What is fucking happening? It is a weird world, and we're all just kind of living in it. I say kind of because, is this living? We're in quarantine. But it is. I think I have the hiccups. Your girl's on the struggle bus. All right. So if you have questions, comments, concerns, things you want read out loud, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, or right here in the super chat. I was going to say in the search party, because I have been watching that show. It is so good. I am deep into season 3. Wow, I just love it so much. For those of you guys who aren't watching, it's super duper worth your time. All right. Like I mentioned, today is the 4th of February, which means that our first Streamlabs coming in for the day came in yesterday after our show ended from Nathan Egger. Thanks, Nathan. Nathan said, as someone who strictly supports you because I feel you put the best content out there, do you compare yourself to other schmoes/collider personalities? Not a competition because you clearly dominate, just curious. I don't think that's why it's not a competition, but for me, there's room for everybody. I'm not competing with my friends. There's room for everybody. So no, I don't compare myself in that way. I compare myself to myself. I hate that I used to have 20,000 subscribers or 21,000. Now I have less than that. That sucks. I hate that my followings dropped on my social media because, comparing me to me. But no, I think that there's room for everyone. Think about all the famous people, all the people that can be famous and successful. I just want to hook up my friends, especially the ones that deserve them. So no, I try not to compare myself. Obviously, I'm human, but for the most part, no. Texas teacher in the house says, hello, Roxy. Good news. Another month sober in the books. Boom. That's awesome. Bad news. I was in such a bad place earlier this week that I If I owned a gun, which I don't, I would have swallowed a bullet. Yikes, Texas teacher. With the help of my closest people, I'm still alive and doing better. Hugs. Try to remember this and write this feeling down about feeling better and doing better, and remembering that feeling that kind of pain, it is temporary. That is the really, really essential part about not being mentally well at times, is that you remember that life is not always like that, even though your brain tricks you into thinking that it's going to be. Really happy you're still here with us, Texas teacher. This community needs you, and thanks for sticking around. LD in the house says, hey, coach, met my new Romeo and Lysander. I have to just say, damn, Lysander is married and Romeo is gay, so I don't think it will be an issue. Also, Lysander's wife is playing Helena, so nothing to worry about there. But I will say Puck is pure sex god in a tight shirt. But the meeting went really well, and I leave in a few days to fly to my new home for a while before the tour. I will also get my first round of the shot. I'm packing up my tiny apartment and putting it in to put my stuff in storage, but this shit is heavy. I won't ask my brothers for help, understandably. I don't know anyone with a truck. I put a post online asking for help, and some dumb boy said he would if I would blow him every day. Ugh. I mean, I didn't think when I said, whose dick do I have to suck to get this done, that someone would literally offer to do it if I sucked his dick every day for a week. My friend's dad, the feet guy, did offer to help, but I don't even want him to know where he would want. I don't even want to know what he'd want in that exchange. Any advice on how to get help moving all the shit, without having to suck a dick or put my feet in pasta? Should I reach out to my brothers? I only have a few days to figure all this out. Glenn wouldn't ask me to blow him to help. That's so true about Glenn. LD, a couple different things. Number one, sometimes even though it sucks, you got to pay some movers. You can try to find somebody for cheap with a truck that you can get for a couple $100s to help you. Number two, you don't need to be that big to help somebody move. So if you have any friends, even if they're smaller, if you guys tag team things and just do it really slowly together, maybe that will help. Number three, you could ask the production and see if anybody in the production knows, or if they know anybody who could help you. Because, those are all things that are options. It's really hard to move during this time, and I would not call your brothers. Best of luck, thinking about you, and hope that it works out. Keep us posted. Rob Fishbeck in the house says, don't laugh, I'm being completely serious, but how do you eat your fruits and certain vegetables? Do you slice and cut them first, or just bite right in? I've recently gotten some flack for the strange ways I go about eating fruits and certain vegetables. I mean, it 100% depends on what fruit and what vegetable. Because I eat everything so, so differently. Apples I usually cut unless I don't have a knife. Bananas, I usually will slice up and put peanut butter on them. Grapes, those are kind of self-explanatory. Again, what kind of vegetables? I usually cook them and saute them, chop and saute them. So I would need to know more. Please let me know more about what you're talking about. Thanks, Rob. Glenn Caesar in the house. Hello and good afternoon, Roxy. Much love to you, Grammy and Pablo. Thanks for always being here /there for us and hanging out with us on this hopefully happy Thursday. Peace, love, bunnies, and hugs to you and all yours. As always, keep up the fight. Smets, #SmashCancer. Positive thoughts to you, RJ Skittles, Chunk, Silver, and all of the rock stars who show up here and give their support whenever and however they can. Be most excellent to each other. Don't forget, when it gets tough, even if you're by yourself, you're not alone. Remember, rock stars, you're kind, you're smart, you are unique, and being so unselfishly loving and supportive of others, including internet strangers, makes you worthy. Therefore, your story is important and deserves to be seen and heard. You are appreciated. Saying it again, Miles Cosgrove, Brett Hankerson, Jonathan Mattingly, arrest the cops who killed Breonna Taylor, all three of them for killing Breonna Taylor. Justice for all the people who have lost their lives due to excessive force. #say their names. Glenn, I've been noticing that you, not that it fucking matters, but every time you call him Brett Hankinson, and it's Brett Hankerson, I think. Again, not that it matters, but if we're going to know their names, I guess we should fucking really know them. Denny in here says, What's up, Denny? There was not a Snyder cut in existence. Oh my God, Denny, you're tired. It was a work print of footage that Warner Brothers had to put an extra $70 million into it just to make it releasable, and it will still likely still suck. The Twitter Snyder cult act like crazed Trump supporters. Denny, you're kind of acting like a crazed Trump supporter with that acknowledgement. Here's the thing. The $70 million went to making it better, and there's only 4 minutes of additional footage. It just hadn't been edited yet. And then on top of that, for you to say it will still likely suck, that's so mean. You don't know that. So why are you trying to throw fire onto the flames? And also just like, it's tired. I think give it up, my friend. Texas teacher says, hello, Roxy. I'm actually getting to see you live today. Woo woo. I'm doing much better today. 6 months sober the other day. In the last year, I've relapsed twice. So I the script, became a better person. Oh, sold. Sorry, two different lines. Sold the script, became a better person, and built audio for a cartoon. That's awesome. Thank you for all that you do. Texas teacher, always happy to have you in here. Thank you so much for being here and for being clean and sober. We love to hear it. Sips tea. Jake Yakavetta in the house says, first off, that weirdo Rob was straight up eating a whole ass cucumber without cutting it up. Who does that? Yeah, that's fucking bad. Oh, that can't be good for your teeth. Second, happy birthday to Matt Link. Woo woo! Yes, Matt Link. Happy birthday. Fuck yeah, everybody send bunnies for Matt Link. He deserves it. An OG rock star. Yeah, Matt Link, happy birthday. Happy birthday. You're awesome. Really appreciate you and all of the people who are in here. I still, from last night, I've still got my bottle, the shot glasses here. I've got my bag with all my makeup here. And there's all like these electronics here. It's just a lot. There's just a lot of stuff going on right now. Just take a breather, Rox. Holy fuck. You guys ever in that place where it's like, who saw my child? All right, let's talk a little bit about Spider-Man 3. This is interesting. There was some Spider-Man 3 talk from Tom Holland, who is calling Spider-Man 3 the most ambitious standalone movie ever made. Now, that is really saying something. Now, he's not saying the most ambitious superhero movie ever made, because I'm sure he acknowledges that Endgame is the most ambitious superhero movie ever made, or Infinity War. But to call this the most ambitious one that is a standalone, it does seem like, based off all of the things that we keep hearing about Spider-Man 3, that really might be the case. Depends on who they're putting in or what exactly they're doing. But let me read exactly what he said. He was asked by Variety, can you tell us anything about the upcoming Spider-Man movie that you're filming? He responded, obviously, I can't really say anything, which a little toot in that. He's then asked, you can tell us what happens at the end, right? And he responds and says, what's funny is, like, I nearly told you then. You were so close to getting what you want. I can say that it's the most ambitious standalone superhero movie ever made. You sit down, read the script, and see what they're trying to do, and they're succeeding. It's really impressive. I've never seen a standalone superhero movie quite like it. And I'm just, again, that lucky little shit who happens to be Spider-Man in it. We got a lot more shooting to do. We started before Christmas and shot for like 7 weeks. We stopped for the Christmas break, and then we're starting again. I'm just as excited as everyone else is, to see it, let alone be a part of it. So that's kind of interesting. I think that when he calls it ambitious, the main thing that we obviously think of is all of the people who are going to be in the Spider-Man movie, which I guess technically feels like it doesn't make it a standalone movie, but it really is, because it's a Spider-Man movie. In the same way that I suppose Captain America Civil War is a standalone movie, because it's a Captain America movie, but it's not really standalone, but it's standalone. So I don't know. That's kind of tricky. What else do you guys make of this, though? If it's not just about who is in it, what else could this be about? What do you think this being ambitious is referring to? Do you think that this is in a different time, a different place, a different dimension, a different universe, they're shooting in a different medium, there's different technology. What would make something the most ambitious superhero standalone film yet? Just want to hear your thoughts. Again, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. What are you hoping to see in Spider-Man 3? What do you think is rumor right now? What do you think is fact? Give me all of your thoughts. This is essentially Kevin Feige life work. Says John Cooper, what, this one movie you mean? I just put up Brandy's comment on accident. She says, thanks, Jake. I'm sure that's about I don't want to say, actually. She hasn't said. Anyway, he is set up to be a villain in the public eye at the end of Far From Home. So Vicious Ocean, you think storyline-wise it's the most ambitious? Is that what you think? I'd say Spider-Verse is the most ambitious, says John. I think that's fair, but we haven't seen this one yet. That's not what standalone means. So Redford, if you don't think standalone means it's not one of the team-up movies, then what do you think standalone means? Do you think standalone means that it's not tied into the universe? Redford, I would love to hear your thoughts. Because I don't think there's any world in which this is standalone, not MCU. Everything's part of the MCU, so it's not really standalone. Like Joker is really a standalone movie. Wonder Woman is not totally standalone because it's part of the DCEU. Redford says I was talking to John, Roxy. So John had said, yes, if it ties to other properties, that's not standing alone. I hear everybody's point on that. I kind of hear everybody's point on that. Let's go into the Streamlabs, see what's happening in here. Apollo 3JP says, hi, just not recovering from my assassination last night. But it's been a beautiful day putting in that work. Hope yours is going well too, Roxy. Yeah, wow. Steph saved Big Mo last night. It's wild. LD123 says, hey, coach, watching live. Thanks for the advice. Gonna call some of my old cast, but for the cucumber eating, I used to not cut it so I could pretend it was a doc and practice blowjobs while at church camp. Do you mean dick? A lot of girls do things like this. A lot of guys do things like this. A lot of people do things like that. That kind of makes sense to me. Thanks for sharing, LD. Ryan Payne says, to me, it's standalone because it's about how the plot moves forward and who will be the center focus of the story. John says it ties directly to WandaVision and Doctor Strange too. We don't know that, but I do assume that that's probably what's happening. It's also interesting that they filmed for 7 weeks. They broke for Christmas, which I don't know how long that break was for. If this article is coming out now, seems like a long break. I think probably they broke for partially Christmas, partially COVID. And then for them to be going back probably takes a long time because everybody's been with their families and whatnot for Christmas. So then they've got to retest and restructure so everybody is safe. But yeah, that's a lot of time off to be taking in between filming and then not filming. Then I wonder how many more weeks they have left. So many thoughts about Spider-Man 3. We really don't. This could be the best superhero movie ever, or it could be a hodgepodge hot mess. And we just don't know. We just don't know. Slash Film put out an article 2 hours ago saying Salma Hayek praises empowering Eternals. Oh, she's talking Marvel stuff. Huh. Tom Holland and Salma Hayek have upcoming Marvel movies. There's a lot of Marvel talk recently. So, yeah, Slash Film says they're really going to need Sony to announce the official title for a Spider-Man movie. That was one of my favorite episodes when you guys came up with different titles. It was amazing. When he says you sit down, read the script, and see what they're trying to do and they're succeeding, it makes me think that whatever they are attempting to do in the script is not MCU-like. We haven't gone where this place is going before. So that's kind of cool. Anthony says, just give me Charlie Cox, Daredevil, and Spider-Man 3. I don't know. It could happen. It really could happen. We don't know. Thunder God says standalone means its own thing. This movie, similar to Civil War and Cap, is connected to other movies, but at the end of the day, Spider-Man is the main character. Everybody seemingly has a different definition. I don't think any of us are right, and I don't think any of us are wrong. I kind of actually think all of us are right. So that's where I'm at. 100 people watching live right now. Thank you guys so much for being in here. If you are watching live or if you're watching after the fact, please don't forget to thumbs up this video. We've got half that amount of thumbs up, so I know we can get more thumbs going. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment after the fact. Go to Apple Podcasts, review it over there. The reviews have been slacking. They're slacking like a motherfucker. And get in those Streamlabs now. As we move on, we can come back to Spider-Man stuff if you guys have more things you want to talk about. But in the meantime, let's talk a little bit about this Gorilla Glue story. For those of you guys who don't know, there was a girl who put out a TikTok, but I like how TikTok has made its way to other mediums now. Like TikTok is, you know, you always see TikToks on Instagram, you see them on Twitter, you see them all the fuck over the place. And this girl put out a TikTok about how she usually uses this one kind of hair gel, but instead she didn't have it. So she got a can of Gorilla Glue that looked very similar because she thought it would hold down her hair. And it did. And it's been like that for 2 weeks and she cannot get it off. And I felt for this girl because Gorilla Glue is a bitch. And if you don't know about Gorilla Glue's powers, it's just so hard. Her TikTok, she was such a good sport in it, but Gorilla Glue's apparently been tweeting at her, trying to give her tips. This is a picture of her hair in case you would like to see. It's very flat against her head, as again, she usually gels, but she like went like this. I'll show you. She like went like this and was like trying to show us like it does not move. Like it won't move forward. It won't move backwards. Like there is no movement going on at all. Here's another picture. I took these from the video. And she like just glued her hair to her head. So a lot of people have been talking about what's going to happen here. Like, what is the aftermath of this situation? How is she going to figure this the fuck out? There's a lot of speculation that she's going to lose her hair because I don't know that this grows out. Like, I don't know if you Gorilla Glue your hair to your head. And a lot, you know, if you're going to Gorilla Glue your hair to your head, I will say it's a little bit on you. I still feel bad for her because it's clearly she didn't mean to do what she did, but like it's still on her. She still fucking did it. But at the same time, it's like, I do want to help her out. Some people are saying to try like nail polish remover or alcohol. And she's been trying, but this poor fucking girl, again, there's not that much to the story other than, yo, that's a bummer. At least it looks good. I don't know how it's going to grow out, but at least she's got her hair looking fucking fire right now. Everything looks like in perfect position. It sucks when you make your bed and then you have to lay in it, you know, when you're like, oh, these are the choices I made in life and now I have to live with it. This is why I'm always telling you guys to make decisions that make it easy to look in the mirror. I usually don't mean physically. I just mean like emotionally. This one, I mean physically. Like she's going to have a hard time looking in the mirror when this is it's growing out and then like the hair here is soft, but then this part's glue. It's going to be sticking up like crazy. It's going to be a weird fucking look. Ryan Paint says try using a paint thinner. I think she's trying. Yeah. I know. Pink Sweet says her hair is laid till she dies, winning. I don't think it's going to stay like that forever because the growth part, it's the fucking growth part. Just giving a shout out to the people, guys. Just a shout out to the people. Sometimes in quarantine, we do stupid shit. And it's just is what it is. Just is what it is. Curtis Mason says, hey, Roxy, just want to thank you for building this community of positive and supportive people. You've done a good job of weeding out the crazies. I really try. I really try because it is super important to make sure that you guys are safe and sound and feel like you can share your thoughts and we're not shaming and whatever. So that's why when people tweet at me asking like, did they get blocked or whatever? It's like, I don't know. I trust my mods to see who deserves to be in here and who doesn't. Only people who deserve to be here, people who are open-hearted and open-minded and non-judgmental and want to help and love each other. And that's the kind of community I want. So I appreciate you recognizing that, Curtis. Glenn Caesar in the Streamlabs says, Roxy, you're right. It's not really important, but I looked it up because my brain wouldn't let it go. And it is Hankinson with an N. Glenn, I don't think so. And to keep the mood and good vibes good, I just chose to think JL, TSC, maybe Justice League, the Snyder Cut will be good. Happy birthday to Matt. Happy Roxy Day. Thank you. I'm pretty sure it's Hankison. I'm pretty sure. I don't think you're, Glenn, I think you're right 90% of the time, but I'm almost positive that it's Brett Hankison, not Hankinson. Look up Brett Hankison. Hankison. Again, it doesn't fully matter, but if we're going to say his name, we got to know what it is. I think I'm right on this one, though, Glenn. But I'm always willing to be wrong, especially when it's to Zen Glenn. Thank you, Jake, for putting in the Streamlabs link, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Appreciate you guys. And also shout out to all the other people who are joining us here right now. Thank you for everybody for showing support. Joseph and Spidey and Rob, Vicious Ocean, Bruce Banner, Rob Fishback, Pink Sweets, B. Lee, John Get Bent, John Bainbridge, Ryan Payne, Brittany Parker, G. Smith, Mark Jason Ali, DK. I always like when I get to DK. Glenn Miller. Whoa, we've got a Glenn that isn't Glenn Caesar in the house. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, you guys are awesome. So just some shout outs to the people. Yeah, there's only one M before the K. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Andrew Thomas says, hi, beautiful Roxy. Great news that the late Chadwick Boseman was nominated for 3 SAG Awards. That is good news. That is good news. And I appreciate you reminding us to talk a little bit about that today. I haven't fully looked at the SAG Awards yet. Every year in my space, it's usually a big deal because their carpet is always like such a sought after red carpet. But now that they're not doing that, it's like the SAG Awards kind of come and go and come and go. All right, moving forward to get to a couple of more things that are happening in the world. Actually, before I do that, in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, Rob Fishbeck says, Spider-Man Home Edition, House Arrest, Spider-Man Home Run. He becomes a baseball player. Great pitches, Rob Fishbeck. I need more. I need more of the Spidey pitches. We can never pitch enough Spider-Man 3 names. Like, we can never pitch enough. I could do that for hours. It was seriously one of my favorite moments. You guys are creative as fuck. It's World Cancer Day. There's not that much to say about that other than fuck cancer. And fuck cancer for taking people in my life, and fuck cancer for taking people in your guys' life, and fuck cancer for the people that it didn't take but took years of their life, or the struggle and the finances that go involved with having cancer, and fuck cancer for ripping families apart, and fuck cancer for it being 2021 and there being billionaires and us still not being able to have a cure to cancer, and fuck cancer for all the reasons. So if we can't agree on much, maybe I'll tweet this out so we can all come together. We can't agree on much, but I don't know anybody who doesn't feel that way about cancer. And there's always these universal truths. And that's a nice one to know, that Democrat or Republican, poor or rich, black or white, man or woman, or non-binary person, or gay or straight, or it does not matter. We all fucking hate cancer. So we can all take a little bit of solace in the fact that we have that in common with our neighbors. If nothing else, we do have that in fucking common. Because there's nobody who likes that fucking bastard. So I'm sorry to any of you guys who are currently fighting the battle. And I'm sorry to anybody who has people in their lives that have lost the battle, no matter how hard they fought. It's kind of the only thing I have to say about cancer today. Just as you guys know, it's near and dear to my heart. Not cancer, but those who have had it. It's worth bringing up. Don't worry, we have more fun things to talk about, though. We won't stay on cancer for too long. Trump's resigning from SAG-Aftra. I know it's not the thing that we were hoping he would resign from. You know, it would have been cool if he resigned from the presidency a while ago. But he's resigning from SAG-Aftra. And this is kind of interesting for those of you guys who do not know. SAG-Aftra is our union. When you are in the entertainment industry, you pay money to be part of SAG-Aftra. You pay your dues, and then that's your union, and comes with, or you pay into your health insurance and all that stuff. SAG-Aftra is the entertainment union. It was when SAG and AFTRA merged, and then we got SAG-Aftra. Trump obviously was part of SAG-Aftra because he was a TV star. He was a TV freaking star. His resignation comes just weeks after the union's national board voted to have his membership reevaluated by a disciplinary committee relating to what a press release at the time called Trump's role in inciting the attack on the U.S. Capitol of January 6th. Quote is, Donald Trump attacked the values that this union holds most sacred: democracy, truth, respect for our fellow Americans in all races and faiths, and the sanctity of the free press. There's a straight line from his wanton disregard for the truth to the attacks on journalists perpetrated by his followers. In his resignation letter addressed directly to Carteris, who is made available by SAG-Aftra on its official website, Trump wrote, I no longer wish to be associated with your union, citing what he said were policy failures. Quote, your organization has done little for its members and nothing for me, besides collecting dues and promoting dangerous, un-American policies and ideas, as evident by your massive unemployment rates and lawsuits from celebrated actors who even recorded a video asking, why isn't the union fighting for me? Trump, who was best known as the host of The Apprentice prior to entering office, wrote, you've done nothing for me. Thank you. Okay. Be gone before somebody drops a house on you. I think this is probably the industry SAG-Aftra's least important thing that happened to them that day. I don't think they give a flying fuck. I think that Trump is done with Hollywood. I think Hollywood's done with Trump. I think this makes perfect sense, and it will be interesting to see what comes from here. So that's a Trump update for you, and not the one that you thought you were going to get today. Ryan Payne in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy says, Spider-Man on the run. That's a really good one. Doesn't have anything to do with home, but it's a good one. Spider-Man doesn't get any breaks. Spider-Man in hiding. Spider-Man in the mirror. Spider-Man versus New York. Dawn of civil court cases. It's a lot of Spidey titles. I think we need that home, though. I think we need that home. We got to get that home in the title or it doesn't count. Those are the rules. Why are those the rules? I don't make the rules. I just enforce them. Here's another weird story for you guys. Lil Yachty and Mattel are teaming up for an action heist comedy based on Uno. I saw this because THR sent me an email about it. As you guys know, I'm signed up for the notifications, which I always highly recommend, especially if you want to get in the industry, that you sign up for either Deadline, THRs, or Varieties. Those are the big ones that they'll send out these emails. I saw this email. I was like, this has to be some kind of an Onion article. This feels like a massive joke. Lil Yachty and Mattel, you guys know the company Mattel, teaming up for an action comedy based on the card game Uno. The rapper's going to produce it. He also possibly wants to star in it. They're doing a feature adaptation. The movie is described as an action heist comedy set in the underground hip-hop world of Atlanta. Yachty is attached to produce, like I said, with an eye to star in it. Marcy Kelly penned the movie, which will be produced by Mattel Films with quality controls Kevin Coach K. Lee, Pierre P. Thomas, and Brian Schur. Mattel's Robbie Brenner will executive produce. This is what Brenner said. Uno is a game that transcends generations and cultures, and we look forward to partnering with Lil Yachty as well as Coach P and Brian Schur to transform the classic Uno game into a comedic action adventure. This is what Yachty said. I played Uno as a kid and still do today. So to spin that into a movie based on Atlanta hip-hop scene I came out of is really special to me. It hits close to home for me. I am so confused by this. What, if I'm not mistaken, there is no premise to Uno, really. Like, there's no storyline to Uno. just the numbers and the colors. So what's the heist? What's the hip hop part? What's the Atlanta part? What's the heist part? The action part? It's not like Stranger Things having something to do with D&D, which makes sense. It's a storytelling thing. What's the Uno part of this? JRMEATXC says, confusion is the only logical reaction. Redford Reddington says, acid trip. Right? Like, imagine going into a pit. The only reason this works is if you're famous. Because imagine going into a pitch room and being like, okay, picture this. I'm thinking Atlanta. I'm thinking hip hop. I'm thinking Lil Yachty. And I'm thinking Uno. I'm sitting there if I'm an exec and I'm like, is this person fucking rip-roared right now? Like, this person must be baked. Baked. Uno? You're not talking about Spy Alley or Clue or Monopoly or any board game that's got like risk. I mean, you're not talking about any board game with story to. You're talking about Uno? What? You're doing what? I don't even. Huh? It just really doesn't make sense. It's just like, yeah, nah. Yeah, nah. Mark Gisanelli says it's all fucking bullshit. I don't know. You think this isn't real? It sounds real to me. It just sounds like, okay. Brutal. Just brutal. Don't know what to say. Glenn Caesar in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Strike says, okay, apparently I'm wrong again 2 days in a row, and I'm losing my eyesight. Awesome. Glenn, you're right in our hearts, though, and that's the only place that matters. You can do no wrong. You can do no wrong amongst the rock stars. We've already decided you're the golden god. You're the mascot. You're the one. Wow, this is the best comment ever. John Bainbridge, Uno, Dawn of Justice. Like, what the fuck is this movie going to be? And also, is Lil Yachty a producer? Also, this might be an unpopular opinion, but it's so weird when grown-ass men are little anything. You know, Lil Romeo and Lil Bow Wow. I know Lil Bow Wow dropped the Lil, but still, the Lil part, you have to know when you go by Lil something, at some point you're going to be grown. Lil Kim. It's like it's cute, but it's also like, when I'm talking about this story and I'm like, Lil Yachty, I don't know. A lot of Lils. A lot of Lils. All right, let's get the fuck out of here. We've been here long enough today. And those are the things I wanted to talk about. And I'm going to nurse my hangover while I do a ton of work. I guess a lot of work to do. I'm taking calls with every single person that's joined the Rockstars and figuring out their season upcoming and whatnot. I've got stuff to do for the World Girls. We're using a new editor for this new video, so we're going to see how that goes and all of the other things. So, yeah. Any last minute Streamlabs, get them in now. Any last minute Super Chats, gets those in now. And any last minute questions, comments, concerns, get those in now. If not, thumbs up this video. Leave a comment afterwards. It really makes a fucking difference. I know a lot of you guys say you forget. This is the reminder. Set a reminder on your phone right now for 2 minutes from now. You've got this. Manny, thank you for asking. I do think I'm going to do a stereo with Steph tonight as long as she's available. So I'm excited about that. Yeah, Matt Link, first of all, happy birthday. Second of all, don't forget Lil Uzi with the diamonds. How could I have just forgotten Lil Uzi? It's all about Lil Uzi. How dare I forget Lil Uzi? It's fucked up of me. Lil Uzi forever. Hitman Hudson in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Strike says, did you hear about Sia's film, Music, getting nominated for a Golden Globe? This film is not only offensive, but dangerous to autistic people such as myself. # no Golden Globe for Music. Yes, I did. And yes, I did. And you are not the only one with that opinion. It seems to be the very, very vast majority of people who feel that way. So I did not see the movie, but I do know to follow the communities in which they're about. That's how I take my cues. When the Black community is pissed about something and it has to do with the Black community, then they're right. And when the Jews are are pissed about something and it has to do with the Jewish community, then they're right. If the autistic community is pissed about this movie, then I got to say, they're right. Like, you got to check in with people from the community that you're trying to write about. It doesn't make sense otherwise. That's just how I live my life, at least. Anyway, put down the toilet seat. Make sure you make your bed. Try not to live life hungover. It's fucking hard. You got to live life mostly sober. If you're sober, you got to live life all sober. And that's a fucking great way to live life. If you're not sober, then you got to live life mostly sober. Nobody should be living life in a hole. I was in a hole for so long, and it sucked. Nobody should live life in a hole. Keep that in mind. Might be the smartest thing I ever said. Treat each other with kindness. Get excited for the Snyder Cut, because why not? Why not? Much love, everyone. I'll see you guys tomorrow it's going to be Friday. I'll do DJ show in the morning for Only Stupid Answers, so it'll be 1 o'clock. I'll see you tomorrow at 1.